She was only 7, too small to carry the weight of hunger, sacrifice, and silence. But when the world turned its back, Oshin stood up, not for herself, but for the mother who cried in silence, and the family too poor to choose love over survival. This is the story of a little girl who gave up her childhood so the people she loved could live another day. Hello friends, welcome to Twistopedia. The story begins in 1907 in a small village in Japan. It is winter, and the scene opens on an extremely poor family. A mother, father, siblings, grandmother, and the protagonist of our story, little Oshin. They all sit together, happily sharing the meager food they have for the day. But Oshin's father is not happy. He looks deeply troubled. Suddenly, he declares that from now on, Oshin will work and serve as a maid in a wealthy household. But Oshin refuses. She wants to stay with her parents, go to school, and read books. Her mother and grandmother also don't want her to work at such a young age. Yet the family doesn't have enough rice to survive the winter. So her father insists on sending her away in exchange for 2 sacks of rice. When Oshin still refuses, her father loses his temper and tries to hit her, but her mother shields her. The helpless mother and grandmother can do nothing but cry. The next morning, Oshin's mother sits silently by the icy river, lost in sorrow. Oshin calls out to her repeatedly, but she doesn't respond. After some time, the mother faints, and villagers pull her out of the freezing water. The heartbreaking truth is this. Unable to bear the thought of bringing another child into such a life of poverty, Oshin's mother had stepped into the freezing river, hoping to lose the unborn baby. The poor mother saw no other way. Witnessing this, little Oshin is heartbroken. She decides she must stand by her family and agrees to work. That night, she wakes up and tells her mother she will go to work tomorrow. Her mother refuses, saying she won't send her away, but Oshin is determined. She tells her mother that all that matters is that she live and that she will work, but pleads with her to never do that again. Resting her head on her mother's lap, her mother sings her a lullaby, gently lulling her to sleep. Today is the day Oshin has to leave. Before leaving, she makes a little owl out of straw for her brother, something she learned from her grandma. Soon, a few people arrive with sacks of rice. In exchange for that rice, Oshin will have to work. Now, it's time for her to go. Her mother dresses her in a kimono that she stitched herself. Her mother tells her that from now on, she'll be on her own and must take care of herself. But if at any time it feels too hard to bear, she should come back home. Her mother will always be waiting right here for her. Saying this, her mother can no longer hold back her tears. Her grandma puts a coin in her hand and says she can't give her more than this. Then she hugs Oshin tightly. Today, this little girl must leave her home to work. Leaving her parents behind breaks Oshin's heart, and her mother's pain is just as deep. Even her father, the one who sent her away, cannot bear to watch her go. Overwhelmed, he breaks down in tears. With a heavy heart, Oshin steps into a new, uncertain life. Her days begin early. At dawn, she wakes to draw water from the well. Then she is told to light the cooking fire. She does as she's told and helps with preparing the meals. When the food is ready, the household staff gathers to eat. Oshin's stomach aches with hunger as she watches the delicious food laid out before them. Her joy is quickly crushed. She doesn't know she's not allowed to eat. The lady of the house drags her outside and orders her to leave the room. When Oshin accidentally steps on an expensive mat, she is punished with a harsh beating. Then she is commanded to clean the entire house. Later, she is finally allowed to eat. Overjoyed, she rushes to the kitchen, only to find the rice bowl nearly empty. When she speaks up, the lady points to a few stray grains stuck on the edge of the pot and tells her to eat those. Swallowing her sadness, Oshin savors those scraps with deep gratitude. Oshin longs to learn. One day, while walking with the child of the house, she notices other children reading books nearby. The sight fills her with joy and hope. Absent-mindedly, she begins walking toward the school with them, carrying the child on her back. But the lady calls her back. She returns home and hands the child to its mother. Her back aches from carrying the child so long, and then she is ordered to wash all the child's clothes. When she begins scrubbing near the well, the lady suddenly appears and strikes her again, scolding her for cleaning dirty clothes so close to the water. She is then sent to wash everything in the freezing river. On that bitter cold day, Oshin dips her hands into the icy, bone-chilling water. The pain bites through her skin, but she has no choice. Day after day, she endures this relentless labor. carrying the heavy burdens placed on such small shoulders. Slowly, Oshin grows used to the hardship, even completing all her tasks before being told. Days pass like this, until one cruel morning, the lady accuses Oshin of stealing a coin. Oshin insists again and again that she did nothing wrong, but no one listens. The lady strips her of her clothes to search her body. That is when they find the coin, the very same one Oshin's grandmother had given her. Oshin pleads, telling them it was hers all along, brought from home, but her voice is ignored. Humiliated and furious, she storms out of the house. Tears freeze on her cheeks as she wanders blindly through the heavy snowfall and biting cold. Eventually, she collapses unconscious on the snow. That's when a hunter boy finds her in the forest. When Oshin regains consciousness, she sees the boy sitting beside her, playing a harmonica. His name is Sako. Sako gently tells her not to worry, that she will be fine. He offers her some hot soup. Soon, Matsuzo arrives and explains everything to Oshin. He tells her how Sako found her yesterday, brought her back, and stayed up all night to care for her. Gratefulness fills Oshin's heart. She feels a deep sense of respect and thankfulness towards Sako. Meanwhile, back at the house where Oshin worked, it's revealed that it was actually the woman's own son who had taken the coin to pay at a shop. Oshin had not stolen anything. Even after finding this out, the woman feels no regret, no remorse for falsely accusing Oshin. The next morning, Matsuzo offers to take Oshin back to her home, but Oshin doesn't want to go. She has nowhere to return to. Matsuzo refuses at first, but then Sako says she can stay. Actually, Sako himself is hiding. He's a deserter from war, and Matsuzo is helping to keep him hidden. Taking care of a child puts them at risk, but Sako cannot turn her away. Oshin thanks him deeply for letting her stay. She tells him how she was falsely accused of theft. That's when Sako asks her, "Do you know what your name means?" Oshin means faith. Your name is beautiful, and just like your name, you must live a beautiful, meaningful life. From then on, Oshin always stayed with Sako. One day, Sako suddenly becomes very ill. Oshin doesn't understand what's wrong. Matsuzo explains, Sako is a former soldier. He went to war, and one of the bullets is still inside his body. Witnessing death all around, Sako was deeply traumatized and ran away from the battlefield. That night, Oshin takes care of him tenderly, pressing cool cloths to his forehead. A deep, affectionate bond grows between Oshin and Sako. One day, she sees Sako reading a book. She tells him how much she wishes to go to school. Moved, Sako starts teaching her. He shows her the alphabet, teaches her to read and write. One day, while reading a war poem together, Oshin asks, "You were shot in the war. You must be proud, right?" Sako gently explains, "To win a war, you must take many lives. War can never be a good path." In this way, Sako helps Oshin understand the deeper truths of life. Now Oshin is very happy living with Sako. She has never felt such joy, living with two strangers who treated her with such warmth. The whole winter passes in this warmth and happiness. But now, it's time for Oshin to return home. She doesn't want to leave. She's truly happy here. Why should she go? But Sako cannot keep her. She has a long life ahead, and she must live it well. He cannot let this little girl's life be wasted away in the mountains. Sako gives her his harmonica and says, "Always keep this with you, and live your life well." Then he lifts her onto his back and starts the journey to take her home. As they approach the village and prepare to say goodbye, a group of army men arrive. They immediately recognize Sako as the deserter from the war and try to arrest him, and Oshin as well. But Sako refuses to let Oshin be arrested. He tells her, "Live your life well." Then, as he tries to escape, the soldiers shoot him. And just like that, Sako dies, shot by the very people he once served. With a heart full of sorrow and pain, Oshin returns home. Her mother is overjoyed to see her child after so many days, but her father, upon seeing her, starts hitting her. Because of her theft, the family had been humiliated. She had even returned the sack of rice they were given. Though her mother wants to take her inside, her father doesn't allow her to enter the house. Oshin spends the entire cold night sleeping outside. The next morning, a woman comes to take Oshin's little sister away. She is to be adopted by another family. Oshin refuses to let her sister go, but the woman tries to explain to her gently, her sister will grow up to be a good person in that family. Here, they can't even manage 2 meals a day. Oshin sits outside with a heavy heart. There's nothing she can do. The next day, she sets out again in search of work at a new house. But when she gets there, she learns that they don't need any help. The lady of the house, named Rooney, also tells her that they don't require any workers. Saying this, they go back inside. But Oshin refuses to return home without work. So even as night falls, she stays seated in front of the house. In the middle of the night, the daughter-in-law of the house, Mino, comes out and tells Oshin that perhaps someone gave her the wrong information. No help is needed here. Mino gives her some money and tells her to spend the night at an inn and then return to her village. But Oshin refuses to take the money. She says she won't leave without working. Her family was promised 5 sacks of rice in return for 2 years of work. That rice is desperately needed. Her family is starving. She says she can do all kinds of work and pleads with them to give her a chance. Rooney overhears everything and decides to let Oshin stay in their home. Oshin is overjoyed and thanks them sincerely. The next morning, she wakes up very early and goes to the kitchen to start working. She wants to cook rice, but the housemaid tells her not to do that. Oshin is just a little girl. Still, Oshin cooks the rice by herself. Then she wants to do more. She wants to wash clothes. But again, the maid tells her not to do anything. After that, Oshin starts taking Mino's little son out for walks. One day, she sees a girl her age named Kayo. Kayo is actually the daughter of this household, Mino's daughter. A maid from the house is accompanying her to school. Oshin asks, "Can't you go to school by yourself?" Kayo doesn't like that comment at all. She leaves without saying a word. Later, Oshin notices one of Kayo's books left on the table. Oshin loves to read, so she picks up the book and starts reading it. Just then, someone calls her to do chores, so she keeps the book with her and goes to work. When Kayo returns from school and can't find the book, she starts asking everyone. Eventually, she sees it with Oshin. Since Oshin took the book without asking, Kayo calls her a thief. Mino feels hurt by Oshin's behavior. Kayo's father tells his wife that a thief shouldn't be kept in their house. Oshin steps in and says she didn't steal the book, she just wanted to read it. But no one can believe that a maid like Oshin can actually read. So Rooney tells her to read the book aloud. Oshin begins reading it beautifully, and everyone is shocked to hear how clearly and fluently she reads. Then Rooney tells her, "Oshin, people already assume that maids are guilty by nature, so from now on, be very careful with such things." Oshin has now become close with everyone in the house. They don't make her do much work, and they give her plenty of food. She's doing well here. One day, she is playing the harmonica that Sako gave her. Kayo sees it, takes it from her, and starts playing it. Then she says, "I'm taking this. My mother will pay you for it." But Oshin refuses to give it away. "Even if you brought me all the money in the world, I wouldn't sell this. It's a gift from Sako. It's the last memory I have of him." Kayo becomes angry, pushes Oshin, and tries to break the harmonica by kicking it. In a panic, Oshin shoves her away and picks up the harmonica. But Kayo falls down and loses consciousness. Now Oshin is in serious trouble. Kayo's father finds out not only has Oshin pushed his daughter and knocked her unconscious, but she also once ran away from her previous home and was seen with a man who was a deserter, someone considered a traitor. Oshin says, "Yes, I made a mistake. I pushed Kayo, but please don't insult Sako. He was a kind man. He gave me shelter and taught me how to read. He fled from war because war takes lives and forces people to kill others. War is not the answer." Rooney tells Oshin, "Kayo will recover. But because such a serious problem happened, no one will be able to maintain a good relationship with you. You can't stay in the same house anymore." So Rooney decides to arrange for Oshin to work for another family. On the other side, Kayo regains consciousness. The housemaid gives her a little owl made of straw, something Oshin had made for her. She hears that Oshin is leaving the house. Upon hearing this, Kayo runs to her grandma, Rooney, and pleads that it's not Oshin's fault. She admits that she had forced Oshin to buy her a harmonica. While everyone feared Kayo, Oshin didn't. She stood up to her. Even the fight they had was just a childish game. Oshin is a very good girl, and she shouldn't be sent away from the house. Kayo begs her grandmother to let Oshin stay. Grandma is touched by Kayo's words. She decides that Oshin will stay in the house. From that moment on, Oshin begins living there again. Kayo becomes her close friend. They even take Oshin with them to pray at the temple. Oshin is truly happy now. But then, one day, she suddenly sees her mother. Her mother has come to the area to earn some money by keeping drunk men company. Seeing her mother like this shocks Oshin. Her mother, too, is deeply embarrassed upon seeing her. That night, they quietly meet each other. Oshin's mother tells her she came here for work, and her contract will end when the season changes. She will then return home. Oshin says nothing. She simply hugs her mother and cries. Knowing that her mother has to do such work deeply hurts Oshin. She cries bitterly. Rooney sees this and understands the truth about Oshin's mother. Still, she says nothing. Instead, she comforts Oshin, telling her, "This is the greatness of women. They never work for their own interests. They work for their parents, their husbands, and their children. They don't have the luxury to think of themselves. Your mother is doing this for the family. Even if this work brings her pain, she endures it. Never blame her. Never hate her. Love your mother with all your heart." Oshin breaks down in tears. Spring quietly arrives. Oshin's mother has returned home. One day, while working, Mino brings news that Oshin's grandmother is very ill, and she needs to return home immediately. But Oshin refuses to leave before finishing her share of the work. She keeps working. The other housemaids beg her to stop and leave right away. Maybe then she can still see her grandmother alive. Still, Oshin continues to work. Meanwhile, her grandmother lies on her deathbed. Though she can't see her beloved granddaughter one last time, she eats the rice Oshin had earned and sent with great satisfaction. Just then, seeing Oshin still working, Kaio approaches and gives her one of her own kimonos. She tells Oshin to wear it and go to her grandmother right now. Oshin doesn't wait anymore. She rushes off toward her village, determined to see her grandmother one last time. She struggles through the journey, and when she finally reaches home, she realizes she is too late. Her grandmother is no more. She has passed away. Crying, Oshin repeatedly asks for forgiveness from her grandmother. She couldn't come to her one last time. That regret makes her pain even deeper, and with that sorrow in her heart, she falls asleep. The next morning, she wakes up and sees her mother still working. Sitting beside her grandmother's photo, her mother hands her the money, the same money her grandmother had given her, which the family had once taken from her, falsely accusing her of theft. Now they've returned it. This money becomes the last memory Oshin has of her grandmother. She watches her mother tirelessly doing all the household chores. The pain she felt seeing her mother work that humiliating job seems to fade away. Rooney's words echo in her mind. Mothers don't live for themselves. They live for their family and their children. Oshin goes up to her mother and says, "Mom, you're always working. You never rest." Her mother replies, "That's a mother's job." Oshin, with a soft smile, says, "Mom, I'm truly happy I was born as your daughter." Her mother replies, "From now on, you'll stay with us. We've struggled so much for the family. No more struggling now." But Oshin says, "No, Mom, this isn't a struggle. I can now take care of everything. Even if I'm alone, I can take care of myself." Her mother is filled with joy seeing how responsible Oshin has become. They embrace each other, feeling a peaceful love that's grown even deeper between them. Now, Oshin has found her own path in life. The once vibrant 7-year-old girl has grown into someone responsible and mature. She steps forward again, toward work and toward fulfilling her dream of studying, to stand beside her family, and that's where the story ends. Oshin's journey is not just a story, it's a reflection of strength, sacrifice, and the quiet power of love. A little girl who gave up everything, not for herself, but for the ones she loved most. In a world that kept breaking her, she kept choosing to rise, with faith, with kindness, and with courage. Thank you for being here. Until next time, stay kind, and keep believing in the strength of the human heart. This is Twistopedia,